Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today is January 1st, 2021, as we've entered into the new Gregorian New Year. As well, of course, December 25, we entered into the new Solar New Year. And on December 21st, 2020, we've entered into the age of Aquarius. Massive, massive, profound times. Our peoples all over the earth surface have been prophesizing and talking about these times we're in right now for thousands of years. Absolutely, here we are. And just an amazing, massive ongoing progress with light forces at all levels, including on the ground there. The ground forces, it looks like more and more of us are waking up and, really contributing more and more in all sorts of ways through, these YouTube channels, through the internet, of course, is huge. And of course, all sorts of things going on here. So hats off to everybody putting efforts into getting truths out and really fulfilling their missions. We got some excellent warriors all over the Earth's surface here, and it's great to see more and more awakening of light forces types of all sorts. And that, we need everybody on board for this one, man. Absolutely. So good work by everybody ongoing. As really there's such profoundness, it's really beyond words. What's going on, and it's amazing to see more and more being revealed. Really, we're in disclosure now, are we not? It's just a matter of becoming completely, fully public disclosure now. But it's just pouring out by various groups and various peoples all over the place. I'd just like to go through here in this episode of Cosmic Howling Media, a little bit through of recent intel that Cobra has written on his website about in regards to the successful meditation on December 21st, 2020, as we've now, as we were entering then into Aquarius, and the energies are just doing amazing things ever since, absolutely 100%, including removing our primary implants. So I'd like to just get into a little bit of go through a little bit of what Cobra has written. And of course, I always post a link for anybody who's not still maybe not familiar with Cobra's website of this recent massive intel dump, if you will, with there's lots of links to things that Cobra's writing about to support that, et cetera, et cetera. So some pretty amazing intel in this one, as always, from Cobra's writings. And then after that, I'd just like to speak a little bit on a couple of techniques where we can help speed up the removal of our implants. There's really three main primary implants. Any of us who incarnate here on the Earth's surface have them, and these are massively have been and are harmful to this whole civilization as individuals, as groups, societies, all that kind of stuff. One is the sex implant, one is the God complex implant, and the other one is basically what the Draconians have been using for if you will, there's an implant that on the ships, they can see anything we see, what we say, what we hear, and that, they can't usually really totally read our minds or our thoughts. So that's how we communicate with each other telepathically, and that a lot of times they really can't necessarily tap into that like fully and everything. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but that's a whole other story. And that's really with the Draconian fleet being decimated basically now. I would propose there's a lot that's really not going on hardly as much, certainly at that level, by some of the Draconian empire that has been in place and are mostly been removed in this whole solar system, including sublunar space. The moon's been cleared for a couple of years now, this Earth surface moon. There's no more negative forces, et cetera, et cetera. So let's just get into some, and then after that, I'd like to tell a little bit of, I'll just call it warrior stories, if you will. I'd like to just tell three brief warrior stories, sort of different worlds, though. One of an experience, a couple of experiences when I was in the secret space program on Mars, and then another when I was in the Canadian Armed Forces, the traditional military here, one of them in the Canadian Navy, and then another out in the bars kind of thing. So sort of three different stories that have some, I'll just like to, put them under a general topic of warrior stories, if you will, because there's certainly a lot of great warriors walking the Earth's surface right now, and that's no coincidence. It's we're all here to do our mission, fulfill our missions best we can, and help in the liberation of this planet, this most beautiful planet we call Earth here. And so we're very close. Planetary liberation is wow. Absolutely. I think we on the surface more and more can really sense it and feel it, and see it and hear it and taste it, all that stuff. And then of course, as our psionics abilities expand now that there's less and less distorted energy and energy weapons coming at us and all sorts of attacks of all sorts, we're starting to be able to expand our mind literally, and open up to our powers we all have, our psionics abilities, clairvoyancy, telepathy, remote viewing, telekinesis, you name it, all that cool stuff. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of what Cobra's wrote here in his recent report. Let's see here, portal, there we are. Now this one is, okay, here it is here. Now Cobra writes, Age of Aquarius activation reports. Our activation was a huge success. We have reached the critical mass many times over, with about 400,000 people participating in the meditation. The meditation sent a strong flash of energy into the planetary energy grid, with tectonic plates reacting and volcanoes erupting. Exactly at 6:22 p.m. UTC on December 21st, a very strong pulse of pure galactic love energy has reached the surface of the planet from M87 galaxy. The pulse lasted for about 10 to 15 seconds, but it was strong enough to instantly remove about 10% of all remaining primary anomaly that is accumulated close to the surface. Awesome, man, awesome. And I found, personally, I found that meditation was, I found it a unique one, in the sense that it felt like we were less sort of drawing the energy here, because of when we started to meditate right at the time of course, the Jupiter Saturn conjunction, and the actual entrance into Aquarius. So this flood of awesome, powerful energies flooded into the solar system. And so we were more or less, I found my feeling was, it was more like we were not so much needing to draw it in, it was coming in so like profoundly due to this really powerful conjunction going on with the big planets there. And so I felt like we were more like, I can only talk for myself, more like conduits of that, so that was really kind of neat. But so really positive report here by Cobra in regards to, since the 21st, since the entrance into Aquarius, including the meditation really helped, all that kind of stuff, and it goes on, Cobra goes on to say, many people meditating have felt this pulse, and it has brought instantaneous emotional and spiritual and sometimes even physical healing to some people. Many traumatic events were erased from the energy fields of certain light workers and light warriors, and huge healing of the heart took place. From then on, clearing of the primary anomaly on the surface of this planet is taking place. The light forces have also managed to anchor pure light on the surface of the planet for the first time since 1996. Many light beings and goddesses were present in their energy bodies around people meditating, and they have managed to take a quite detailed sample of the matrix structure with greater understanding of the quantum structure of the matrix. They are now removing exotic quantum dark technologies with full speed. They have also begun with gradual clearing of the implants on the surface humanity, and you can help them in this process with implant removal techniques mentioned here. Yeah, so there's some great links here, including Cobra puts some links of where he goes through how we can go through mantras and stuff to help remove these implants in us even faster, and I'll go through a couple of techniques I learned off Cobra too. That must be in that as well. That on some of these links that Cobra's put here as well. So that's awesome, man. Because the primary implants, like I say, we get free of those, man. We're really gonna can really get our wings back, so to speak. And here's Commander Ashtar. After the 1221 meditation had succeeded, will go there to start destroying the Matrix. Yeah, Commander Ashtar, eh? The Capo de Tutte Capo of the Ashtar Command. The Ashtar Command is like the special forces of the Galactic Confederation. So Commander Ashtar, eh? Like a primo capo light warrior in theater of operations here, absolutely 100%. Now let's see here, a little bit on the Chimera. There's been lots of progress on removing the Chimera as well, physical and on the etheric plane, etc. So a little bit about the physical part of it. The light forces are also continuing with removal of the Chimera, and this goes quite well in full alignment with their plan. They've already managed to remove over 50% of all Chimera underground bases. Among them, almost all of the ultra deep Chimera underground bases, which are located more than 8 miles deep, just above the Mihorovechik discontinuity, the boundary between Earth crust and mantle. Awesome, man. And then it goes on here. Also, over 50% of the physical Chimera spiders are already gone. The light forces have also removed the Spider King, who is the main occult force behind countless wars throughout human history. That's huge, man, because not long ago, the Spider Queen, the physical Chimera Spider Queen, was removed not so long ago, like a couple of months or something like that, you know, like very recent. And then Cobra goes on to explain that apparently, yeah, what happened was when the portal from the Rigel star system opened up and allowed for some really powerful Archon, the Archon invasion, as it's known as, beings to come in here. And that includes now, there's still apparently a Chimera, another set of Chimera, physical Chimera king and queen spiders below the Congo, where that portal opened up. And that's quite a story in itself. For example, that when the portal opened up in 1996 to that was, yeah, that really, did a lot of, has been very negative since, but it's really, now we're really at a, it's all getting cleaned up, man, and stuff, eh? Thanks to some very advanced light forces in play, that kind of thing. And the a little bit on that, the Archon invasion in 1996, a major thing, tragically speaking here, that opened up that portal for the demons, if you will, for the dark forces to get some of their some more of their really powerful beings to come in to this matrix, was the genocide that occurred in Rwanda. That whole story, Rwanda, and that massive bloodletting and everything. That was a major, massive dark force operation that, unfortunately, and it was able to open up this portal to so that some of these really powerful dark force beings come in. But it's super cleanup going on now, so that's excellent. Now, just a little touch on this, and then we'll get on to removal of the primary implants. A couple of techniques from Cobra. Now this is, let's see here, just a little bit on, oh yeah, here it is here, about the, here's some interesting history on, let's see, is it here? Yeah. Goes on to say, oh yeah, here it is here. In regards to what's going, so this is so important to what's going on here. Cobra speaks a little bit more here of some of the groups, including some of the Black nobility. To quote Cobra here, Orsini Black nobility family is the main force behind pandemics since medieval times, when they have engineered the Black Plague, and also the main force behind vaccination programs. Bill Gates, Anthony Fauci, and George Soros, together with certain people at the top levels of Chinese government, are their main minions who made the pandemic and lockdowns possible. Okay, yeah, exactly. And then it goes on to talk about the reset and stuff. Definitely the dark forces have tried to been the ones orchestrating the reset. And of course the light forces there is a global currency reset in process. And basically, yeah, the light forces have control of that, but there's certainly the dark forces that have continued to try to be the ones to maintain control of that, eh? And ultimately, they're trying to maintain control of this this planet and beyond, and they're just about done here, eh? Which is great, eh? They're on their way out. As we can see now in mainstream media more and more, some of their minions are really exposed big time, obviously, including this Bill Gates guy, etc. Jeffrey Epstein of recent times, et cetera, et cetera. Some of these, that was a huge thing when the not so long ago when they arrested Jeffrey Epstein and it got some press and everything. That was quite a huge success for Light Forces to actually arrest a big fish minion of the Dark Forces in play here, et cetera, et cetera. And we're getting close. These other minions are certainly on their way out for sure. And that's really excellent. And it goes on more about space programs, etc. A lot of really excellent intel here, and that. Oh, a little bit on the Space Force. The positive factions have managed to infiltrate the Space Force, removing some of the Chimera agents from there. At some point in the future, the Space Force may play a role in the first contact between humanity and the Ashtar Command. Excellent. And a little more on that from some secret space program veterans I've heard some good intel from is basically, at one point, approximately 20% of our space program, the one that, doesn't officially exist, the one with very advanced technologies and with bases on Mars and the moon and the asteroid belt and other planets and outside the solar system, and for that matter, with very advanced crafts. At the highest levels, our Space Force can travel intergalactically, interstellar. That's how advanced our Space Force is, that kind of thing, And so about 20% broke off, and are really that's part of the what people call the Alliance. So they're undoubtedly doing awesome works. That includes Kruger, who is part of the positive Space Force of that have spawned from our peoples, and that, and a lot of us have worked for. I've worked for Kruger as part of my SSP service, and Kruger's excellent. Like it's you want to get the job done. You need something done. Kruger's known to be very effective in getting things done. Then it's like I think I was mentioning in the last time I was did a Cosmic Howling Media that I seen that's what it was. I seen this science fiction movie, or so-called a lot of these science fiction movies. A lot of it they're really science documentaries, if you will. There's a lot of disclosure in them, of course. Altered Carbon, I keep thinking of. That's excellent. There's a lot of excellent disclosure in that 2 seasons worth of Altered Carbon. If anybody hasn't seen that yet, wow, man. And there's lots, though, of course, lots of the what we call science fiction movies, lots of disclosure. It's not always accurate. They throw stuff in that's off and everything, but you can discern that. The more you can discern with that, and it really helps you, including us. It's helping me. That kind of stuff can help me. It's helped me part of getting my memories back from service in the secret space program. But anyways, Kruger, I remember, and I'd like to find this movie again where I was watching this movie before I got any of my memories back, but I was sensing it like, wow, that, this whole thing. I was sensing it was more like feelings, more and more feelings that I was involved, off planet operations in that. And as it turns out, I've spent 30 years in the SSP as my as I've heard, thanks to Ileana the Star Traveler, another SSP veteran who does hypnotherapy sessions, and she's a great remote viewer, and she can literally read your memories. Like a lot of my memories I don't remember, she's remembering, which So, anyways, that's another story. I'm talking about. Ileana the Star Traveler. I would propose as an excellent example of a human on the Earth's surface who has quite profound psionics abilities. We'll leave it at that, I guess, for now. So I really appreciate the session I had with Ileana, and I'd like to have more with that lady. And there's lots of, I shouldn't say lots, but there's some good people that are equipped and, packing the gear that can do that. You need to find the right person for sure. It's, I was just very fortunate. I was able to have a session with Ileana, and it's like, wow, man, but, various psychotherapists and others, there's other sort of in that field, titles, people that do that kind of stuff have those kind of abilities to various levels and everything. So, but yeah, I was watching this movie about 3 years ago, and they showed what really was very much looking like the offices, as I've heard it described by another secret space program veteran. Some the entrance into the offices of Kruger, where they have I mentioned this before, but a female and a male on the front in their combat suits, and they're holding their weapons and stuff. And then it's got like some kind of like a motto, sort of like it's not quite this, but it was something like if you've got any loose strings you want tied up, so to speak, call Kruger, that kind of thing. And Kruger is known to really get the job done, eh? Really, perhaps the best fighting forces in our secret space programs. Maybe I'm just saying that because I worked for them or whatever. I'm just saying, I still don't remember a lot about working for Kruger, but I have a couple of memories when I was part of their protectorate force. They had the contract, or maybe they still do. I'm not really sure what's going on Mars right now. Hopefully, in large part, our people are okay, and we're getting there, so we can eventually start to contact with them and everything. The colonists on Mars, and so, anyways, yeah, I was part of a couple of memories I had. I was part of a protectorate force to protect the pine forests that we've terraformed there, our people, as part of the re-terraforming of Mars. The beginnings of it, anyways, and so protect that from apparently some of the reptilians, the locals, and the draconians hadn't really wanted them there, and so they've had a protectorate force ever since to make sure they don't get burnt down and all that. And so I had a couple of memories of that, and apparently I was working for Kruger then for that 10-year period, and then went on to work for the Mars Defense Force. But you're always connected with Kruger, eh? So that's the memories I'm getting, anyways. I'm pretty sure we're going to get verification of this not too long from now. There are records of all this. So if any of us, including myself, are bullshitting, we're going to have official documents and records probably not so long from now. But anyways, there's a lot more stuff we want to process through. Anyways, we'll get there step by step. We want to open up the Space Force to everybody, and utilize all our people's, our great people's, the talents, the abilities, and afford people lots of opportunities to really grow and expand, and really, and we're at the same time that's how we can really be of service to our society, to our civilization, and to the greater star nation and beyond, if that's what we choose to do, right? So very exciting times that way. Literally it's going to open up for all of us. Everybody's included in this, and it's no more of this haves and have-nots and stuff. That's we're beginning to that's the beginning and end of this haves, have-nots, or whatever, right? Our children crawling around in dumps right now trying to get a scrap of food to stay alive for a couple hours, eh? That's what we're going to end, man. That's what this is all about, man. So our children at least have a chance, man, to get some proper education, proper nourishment, safe and secure environments, and not violated in all sorts of ways, so they can, you can incarnate here and have a chance to really, open up your mind right from when you incarnate, kind of thing, eh? Eventually we'll have great education systems and everything. So anyways, about the primary implants. Yeah. Now the sex implant we have is basically, that's been very manipulative. It's different for females and males. The males, especially as young men, we tend to be thinking, we want to have sex. It's with our girlfriend or whatever, young woman, when we're whatever, we tend to, and whereas the females a lot will, and this, what I mean, it's a choice either way. Of course, it's always got to be a choice between individuals, consenting adults, if you will, all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, these implants have really done a lot of it's been very deceptive, very manipulating on the whole sexual energy here, because that's really huge and what's really kept this matrix prison matrix in is distortion of sexual energies, especially female sexual energies. So basically, this implant, we start getting rid of this, we're going to become just much more healthy humans in general, and it'll help our civilization massively in so many ways when we are able to. And like I say, now that we're in Aquarius, they're starting to dissolve, and this will help speed it up for anybody interested. There's a couple of mantras I'll mention in a second, but basically that's what it is. The males, we tend to go, think that love is sex. And the females may be more oriented to sex is love, like kind of thing. It's that manipulation. But anyways, it tends to produce a lot of problems sometimes between the male and female genders here in various ways. This implant, all sorts of distortions that come from that. So basically, what we can do to help dissolve it, these implants, these etheric, they're not physical, they're on the etheric realm implants, so they're non-physical implants. They're like little black holes, basically, to do a rough description of them. And so, but now that they're getting dissolved, I can feel it already. I felt it right out since that meditation on the 21st. Absolutely. So we're getting rid of them, and we can speed it up if we want through these mantras, because it's great technology, these implants, but we're great technology. Like I was mentioning before, the human mind is an 11th dimensional operating system. So anyways, yeah, to get rid of this, help get rid of our sex implant faster, we can repeat this mantra. Anybody interested? Because I definitely find this is working. I started doing it in recent days now, really. I knew about this a couple of years ago, but and I tried it for a while. I said, yeah, this works, but we're starting to really get to it now. Is basically all we have to do is repeat. Sex is love. Sex is not love. 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 You just keep repeating that often, and that'll what it does will it'll start to manipulate the implant and weaken it. Because it confuses the implant. You can actually confuse the implant that way, right? You're going, sex is love, sex is not love. You know what I mean? So there's one for the sex implant, and for the other implant that's very massively been harmful to this whole individuals and the whole civilization is the God complex implants, right? So basically we are the gods from the Godhead, from source, we're the God sparks, all that, I mean, we're from source, eh? So we are the gods from the Godhead, from source, from prime creator. And so, but that's the thing, that implant is like, I'm not God, and it can be very disempowering, these false spiritual teachings that have been going on, including in a lot of these churches and stuff, eh? Like, let's sit around and let someone else is going to save me. It's like, wow, man. I mean, I could, if I'm looking for a savior, I should look in the mirror, man. If I'm looking for any kind of savior, and, so, that kind of thing. So it can be and has been very disempowering. Oh yeah. He'll take care of it all, man. I'll just have to sit around, I don't have to, the thing is, we're all very powerful, and we have responsibility and to open up to those powers, and that's how we can protect ourselves and others, and all that kind of groovy stuff. So basically, that implant, the God complex, to start dissolving that, getting rid of that faster, is basically just by saying this mantra: I am God, I am not God. 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 And just keep repeating that over and over. It's the same thing. It manipulates that implant. It confuses that implant, and it starts to weaken it, and then now with the energies coming in and other beings helping us with this, we'll get rid of these implants, man. We're already seeing benefits already. There's no doubt. It's in this short just days since the 21st. So we can get rid of these pretty fast, it looks like. Especially that'll definitely help speed it up. Anybody interested in trying that? And like I say, the other implant, I'm figuring must be weakened a lot, because there's basically the draconian fleet's been decimated in the solar system and beyond. And so, because that was it, like the eye in the sky, all that. So we're still being surveilled. We're under heavy surveillance. I'm under surveillance right now through this or whatever, but different levels. But at that level, at that higher level, right to the draconians, that looks like basically that infrastructure is just about decimated. So they're, because otherwise, like I say, that primary implant, they could basically, any of us with that implant, which is all of us who incarnate here, they can literally, they see anything we see, they hear anything we hear, anything we say, that kind of thing. And like I say, though, they can't always, in large part, they can't, they're not reading your thoughts totally in that. I'm not saying that's not possible, but that's the thing. That's why sometimes we communicate, we don't speak. We communicate to our people on the ships and stuff for security reasons, right? Okay, so anyways, that's a really good one, folks. Those thanks to Cobra, and there's other techniques out there I've heard of a little. I'd have to look for them. So there's but there's a couple of pretty basic mantras that'll definitely speed up getting rid of your implants, man. Your primary implants, which, like I say, is massive, man. We're gonna start feeling better and better, and becoming more empowered, and really opening up to our powers, literally. And as you can see, many like light warriors on the surface who have worn many hats, as I was speaking last time about in a Cosmic Howling media video I did. It's great to see more and more light warriors really opening up and utilizing their backgrounds that they've had, their experiences in militaries, in organized crime societies, in all sorts of martial artists, like some really good martial artists and warriors of all types, utilizing their background, their experiences now to really, in a very positive way, more and more. You can see it. So hats off to all the light warriors and light workers, light force soldiers of all types, doing so much more and more effective works here on the surface, because we're the ground crew, man. We got a job to do, man. Like, that's the thing I've heard here on the surface. Oh, you wait for the ships to come and save you, like, blah, blah, blah. No, man, it's not that. We need everybody at all levels to contribute to this planetary liberation, including us on the surface, of course. At the same time, I can guarantee you, without the Galactic Confederation light forces, we would have been all torched by now. We'd be the surface population. We wouldn't even be here, basically. That'll come out. That needs to be proven. But I'm just saying, that doesn't make us weak, friggin' useless eaters like these dark occultists think of us at all. Who are the useless eaters? Actually, we'll see. But anyways, I'm just saying. I mean, like, yeah, we're very powerful and we got a job to do. But I think it's perhaps kind of naive to think without the more advanced life forces in play that we wouldn't be in such a position right now to so close to full planetary liberation and be able to build something real special for everybody, and high quality and safe and secure, and the education systems, the medical systems will all just be, we can build great ones, and eventually we're there now. It looks like we'll be able to get the criminals out of all these operating systems, because just one more thing about that, up till recent, 80+% of this world's been run by criminals. I mean, that's why it's so messed up. Maybe we kind of think, well, it's just the way it is. But now as the awakening happens, we know, oh, whatever, I guess that's the way it is or has been, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? We get back to the real science, man. Oh, and just one more thing too about it's this judgment thing. It's like old Colonel Kurtz said about when we judge, we fail each other, right? Absolutely. So when we speak of any of us, our backgrounds, whatever, whether we're from organized crime before or militaries, things we did in militaries, things we did on the streets, et cetera, et cetera. Fair enough. We're all held responsible. I am for anything I've done. I got my hands dirty. We all, and we all have in various ways, especially the warrior types, if you will. But, to judge each other, we're not the judge. The judge is the real science. The judge is prime creator, man. So that's the thing, and stuff, and I really, I remember hearing that when I first heard that. I know it's in the movies and everything, but when Colonel Kurtz, in that movie said, it's when we judge each other, we fail each other, kind of thing. Absolutely. So because the judge is in the real science, the science, the way things really work, natural law, of course, So that's another thing. Yeah, restore natural law. Start offering our people real teachings right from kindergarten on, real science, the whole bit, Okay, so yeah, I just like to otherwise speak of a couple of stories here of call it warrior stories, I'd like to call it. Now this is I'll just go through quickly the first one where I've already mentioned this, but a couple of memories. This was the third and fourth memories, something like that I had earlier this year. They were pretty brief, but I had a couple of memories in the field fighting draconian soldiers. There's a lot of different looking and sizes of draconians from the Draconian Empire. These are draconian foot soldiers, if you will, warriors that we fought a lot on, including on Mars. That's where I fought them anyways. And a lot of people have when they come in and they're drop ships and drop down a friggin' some warriors down to do some battling. And I don't have any memories of fighting the indigenous reptilians on Mars yet, but others do for sure. Certainly Captain Randy Kramer does. And so anyways, these warriors are the ones, both of them that I encountered and had a memory of engaging with were about 6'8", 6'10" kind of thing, that kind of height, not quite 7 feet, but more than 6.5 feet for sure. And the look, heads on them just like crocodiles, and a big sort of tail, like almost you put the heads on these draconians and the tail, you got pretty well a crocodile. There's no doubt these crocodiles and these draconians, that as far as genetics go, man, there it is. That's you got quite a match going on there. So they got heads on them like crocodiles. Just the only person I've heard describe them as that is Captain Randy Kramer, and so that's what they look like, just like the captain described them as. And there's been a couple of artists make drawings of them that the way Randy's remembered them. So that's what they look like. That I'm just saying. So I heard that from him. Whatever. I'm not trying. So that's what like say, heads on them like crocodiles. Great warriors, brave, friggin' skilled, fierce, friggin' like on. So I mean, I respect these opponents, these enemies, if you will, or they were when we were in the field. That's the way it is, right? It's you and them. You're up against each other. So this was close hand combat with each other. My memory was once with a plasma fighting very close to each other, and I had a plasma sword. And at one point, I swung with the plasma sword and cut off half the snouts of this draconian warrior foot soldier guy. And then the other time was actually with a long dagger, at least a 10-inch blade on this dagger, really high quality. It was steel. The other time was a plasma sword, like there's no the actual energy plasma energy length of sword, and it makes some pretty good quick work of cutting through any of us, kind of thing, as far as plasma technology and all that, plasma weapons, of various sorts, including the swords, And so the other one was with a dagger, though, like about a 10-inch blade on it. No doubt, really high quality steel. It was a steel, though, and it had to be coated, like I was mentioning, with I'm thinking a fast acting neurotoxin, because we didn't use those with the draconians to try to pierce, to stab, like happens with humans on humans, like you go deep sometimes. It's just to pierce enough to get the coating, the poison coating on the that's on the dagger, just pierce the skin so they can unleash that what I'm figuring is most likely a fast acting neurotoxin when you're in the field. Now, so that was another memory as combating. That was a couple of the memories I've had so far of combating draconian soldiers on Mars. As part of, we're protecting, our job was to protect the colonies ultimately, and there's various bases, and this was up north, one of the northern bases. So the thing is that I'm thinking now those are real memories as far as I'm what I see right at this age, At the same time, it's a possibility that that was training. I'm remembering training because there's advanced holographic imaging technologies where we train in, where it comes up and you're going to see various types of beings, including draconians, and you're combating. So you're practicing your techniques, how to use what you want to do with that dagger, maybe. And in this case, no doubt we trained for it. Is at times, if you're close in, if you can't, you figure you got a shot at it, you're going to pull out your dagger. And in this case, I remember getting the bottom left neck and shoulder right there. I pierced the draconian with the, and it was like this too. It was like that. It was kind of, I lurched forward and, and it was like this. It wasn't, that's how the action was. Boom, got him right there and pierced enough to unleash the neurotoxin, what I'm figuring is a fast-acting neurotoxin. But that memories, it's possible. I'm thinking it's real in the field, actual combat, but it's possible it was even training in the advanced holographic imaging technologies utilized to train our people in secret space programs. It's like literally, there's two main sort of types of holographic imaging technologies we employ. The soft, which if you actually say put a dagger through the holographic image, it would just go right through. But then there's the hard holographic image where you're actually feeling stuff. It's a much denser energy signature and that. So like you say, those memories to me, as far as I'm remembering, these are real memories for me on Mars. And at the same time, I'm thinking now it's possible it could have been from just training memories too. It may not even have been actually combating draconians in the field, but that's what I'm thinking it is. But there's that possibility. I need to expand on these memories to really know for sure if it's actually was a training with holographic imaging as we do, or actually in the field. So anyways, I just wanted to mention that one. And yeah, those draconians, they look just like Captain Randy Kramer says. That's my memories of it too, so far. Just a couple of fairly brief memories of that, And another story of I want to mention a story of when I was in the Canadian Navy. We're on the East Coast. This is before we went on the ships. After we all finished our boot camps, then we, those of us that went to Halifax to go to fleet school, and our TQ3, our primary trades training, or first trades training course, whatever trade we were in, and then just general sailor school, fleet school, learn the basic stuff about working on a ship and all that. And fire school, the first major sort of Navy fire school, a couple of weeks of that, etc. And then we did some other stuff too. We were in the Navy tattoo performance that year, all that kind of stuff. So we're on the base, and we're in the barracks. This is fairly late at night, about 11 o'clock at night, something like that. And one of the young sailors came in. Most of us were in our racks, basically sleeping by then. And but we were still up or whatever too. We weren't. Most of us weren't really sleeping, but we're just hanging around, And one of the buddies came in. He was drunk for sure, And this guy is a French Canadian guy, about 5'4", 5'5", so he wasn't very tall, but very like a Popeye guy. Definitely really strong, big heart, big set of stones on him, all that, And because what happened was, then when they used to have Cornwallis open, the English-speaking boot camp was in Cornwallis, and the French-speaking boot camp was in Saint Jean, Quebec. And there's still, I think that's where all the boot camp happens for the enlisted men and women now, if I'm not mistaken, because Cornwallis closed down years ago now, out on the East Coast there, right on the Bay of Fundy and all that. So two boot camps, basically the French speaking and the English speaking, and then of course you get sent to your units if you're in the Army, Navy, whatever, and in this case. And then eventually after that, we're all getting posted to, or most of us are getting posted to ships, of course, being in the Navy personnel. So Sylvester comes in, that's his name, and he's drunk, and he's kind of in a bad way. He wants to fight, basically. Eh? So he comes out and he starts challenging guys that are in the flat outside, just hanging around, having a coffee, whatever, shooting the breeze. And he starts to challenge people, like, come on, man, come on, SD. Eh? And so that went on for a bit. And so eventually, those of us in the cabins, we came out, we heard this. So a lot of us came out and we watched this and experienced this. And but he approached the non-French Canadian people. He didn't bother us French Canadians, basically, but he was, you know. And so eventually he got into it with one guy, and that didn't last very long. He made pretty quick work, and the guy basically ran into his cabin and said, I don't want to fight or whatever. So no one got hurt, and it worked out okay, eh, in a sense. But what happened was, there was a lot going on there. You know, you got to sort of be in that culture to understand it. Like myself, I'm out of French Canadiana, but I grew up in both worlds, really, in an English-speaking neighborhood in the city of Ottawa, and then I grew up in Western Quebec too. I was able to grow up in the city and the country, so I was always part of both those sort of worlds. Not really French-English people. I'd say more it's French-speaking, English-speaking areas. It's more language, but it's also, you know, that whole thing that's been going on, the manipulation of our peoples, to not like each other. But it's good we're all breaking out of that and realizing, hey, man, we're all brothers and sisters, stuff like that. You know, that's the way it is in all over the world, and where, you know, some groups, for whatever reason, figure maybe they don't like others, whatever. But this was not really, I don't consider it really, it's not really, it wasn't a racist thing, if you will. It's like, but those things happened. That was to me a very profound thing, because for the next couple of days, the French Canadian guys were smiling at each other. We were proud of Sylvester. Eh? He stood up. He says, you know, it's like, yeah, man, you know, he was just pissed off. We're all young men, eh? And, you know, all fighting young men and stuff, eh? Especially the sort of the fighter guys, you know, the guys that actually getting in fights, you know. Some of us that were getting in the fights, actually getting in, you know, boom, 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 through that period till we got on the ship, right? The ship's really good because once you get on the ship, you get in so much serious trouble for fighting on the ship that you don't want to fight, because you can do a heavy military can time for that. Eh? It's like, whoa, which is a good discipline, eh? You're on the ship, you get really pissed off at somebody, you can't, yeah, you can start fighting, but you're probably going to pay like a serious friggin' price when they send you to Edmonton to the, you know, military stockade. And that's like friggin', whoa, man, you know, forget about it. And so, but that's what it was. It's like Sylvester, 5'4", 5'5", and muscular guy though, Popeye kind of a guy, big heart, big stones, eh? That's how it is back in Quebec. Yeah, we the smallest guy's got the biggest heart, man, and the biggest set of stones. And he takes care of that business, and the rest of us will guzzle nice ice cold quarts of beer, man, and have a good time, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, man. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, yeah, we want strength. All the peoples, that makes sense, eh? Build your friggin' army, man. You can see it in these warriors, man, like including those, some guys talking, the organized crime guys. They got a lot of friends, right? That's right. You build a network, man. You can help protect each other, man, you know, and stuff, eh? It's good to have real friends, eh? And if you can have friends that will stand up to it, so to speak. But that was an interesting thing I found, because the dynamics going on there. I wouldn't call it a racist thing, but it was like groups in all sorts of ways have stood up in ways to say, yeah, okay, we're here and we're staying here and whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like when we come into new countries, and if you're the newest group, you tend to get, you know, more used, if you will, as more, you know, exploited until you learn the system, you know, in that country, and then you build things and you know, make things better for you and your people, and then, you know, just eventually become part of the main society, whatever, like that kind of thing. So, and you need, of course, numbers helps to have lots of numbers, that kind of thing. So anyways, that was I find that interesting, and that was one of those things that took place. And it was that ongoing dance going on. Hey, I mean, just to finished with this one. In that same period, I was having a problem with a French Canadian guy who, mother tongue French Canadian guy. I'm like a French Canadian guy. My mother tongue's English. So, and we had a few problems, and we read out fighting a couple of times, swings and like throwing punches at each other and everything for sure. But about 4 times at least we had these serious problems, like I say, including a couple of times full on fighting each other, right? And at one time, the guy says to me outside, this is like more of a Canadian thing, but Canadians would understand this anyways. But it's sort of universal in a sense. These things need to play out the way they do. And this is the kind of 3D mentality we're breaking out of now. That's why I'd like to speak about this stuff. We're getting out of that so we can really expand and really unite more and more, man, and stuff, eh? In the real enemy, the dark occultists, man, the Satanists, man, that are, want to destroy us all. And no, it ain't happening, man. We're light forces. We run this outfit, man. We're close to getting complete control of it. But anyways, yeah, at one point, I remember one time we're having a problem. This French Canadian guy, me and him were having a problem again. And he calls me Englishman. And it's like, I remember I snapped, like Englishman. I'm from Canada, man. I wasn't born in England, man. But it was like that thing. He's called me, and so I started swinging kind of thing, and we got into it again there. But it was one of those things, that tension sometimes. But as it turns out, we both get posted to the same ship. That was no coincidence, And then for the years after that, we'd see each other, different trades. So we just wouldn't pretend we don't even see each other. It's like, yeah, we're done with that. Yeah, because we're on the ship. No, you don't want to be scrapping on the ship, man. Serious friggin' can time and stuff, potentially, that kind of thing, and that. So, anyways, just rambling on about that. And one more story, warrior story, if you will. When I was fresh out of my stint in the Canadian Navy, it's pretty was pretty cranked up there for a while, and really needed to eventually start to sort of taper it off. It was like, kind of like, wound up like a friggin' clock too much or something. Like, when you're those old clocks, you wind them up too tight sometimes or whatever, kind of wrapped probably a little too tight for going back to the civilian world or something. But anyways, so go to this bar one time this is in Ottawa, uptown Ottawa, midtown Ottawa, actually. Like a big tavern, beers, and dancing. They got live bands and stuff too, and all that. Like a big friggin' beer hall tavern kind of place where all kinds of stuff goes on. You can buy stuff, for black market stuff, whatever. All kinds of things that go on in places like that, And that's the kind of bars we like. The real people, so to speak. Like the seedy bars, if you will, or whatever. But they can be pretty dangerous too. But anyways, what happened was I meet this Navy veteran in there. I say, oh, cool, man. So I sit down, he goes, and then when I go, oh, it's okay. Or I said, hey, so we started talking to each other. I go say, oh, is it okay if I sit down with you guys? He was with his buddy and I was with my friend. I had one friend with me. He had one friend with him. And he goes, this is another Popeye kind of guy. He wasn't really that big for what he was involved in. Usually a lot of those guys are a lot bigger, but he was one of those Popeye guys again. About 5'9", this guy, really muscular, like super brave and all that. I mean, like he was a full patch member of the Outlaws motorcycle gang is what he was when I met him. But he was also a Navy veteran. That's why I'd like to speak of this, because I'm a Navy veteran. And we met each other in the bar. And we found out, oh, yeah, we're both in the Navy. So I said, oh, is it okay if I sit down? He goes, yeah, we're outlaws. That's when he told me we're outlaws. He goes, hey, I go, oh, that's okay. Okay, right on. And his buddy right off didn't like that. He didn't, he's like basically, he's got a hard on, he's in a bad way that I'm sitting there and talking to Popeye. I was calling him Popeye. He was like a Popeye kind of guy. But we're ex-Navy brothers. So we're talking about the Navy for the next hour or so at least, and blah, 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 And well, we ended up hanging out for a few hours there and buying each other beers and telling each other Navy stories. And at first, even he checked me out to see if, understandably so, he started asking me about the Canadian Navy ships. Oh, where's that ship? Is that on the West Coast, East Coast, whatever? Eh? And blah, 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 blah. And then I knew that way, I knew he was in the Navy, unless he studied all that, right? Yeah, I'm just saying. So we knew, we verified with each other that we were both members, had been members of the Canadian Navy. And so that was the link, right? So yeah, this guy's a member of the Outlaws Motorcycle Gang, full patch. But it's also a Navy veteran, and so am I. So that's our, we're brothers that way. And that's what my friend and his friend would, I guess, didn't understand, or perhaps would never understand, or I didn't understand then. That's why we were sitting down. We're we liked each other, as it turns out. Actually, I think that guy was like a Métis guy too, because I'm a member of Métis Nation, lighter shade of pale, right? So we didn't really get into that stuff, but. So yeah, we just had a good. We drank a lot too, and but anyways, what happened? And it was sort of it was inevitable in a sense. Once my friend left, and we're like really drunk by then, anyways, and I actually blacked out that time. I don't even remember the what happened outside, but I got the bum's rush with Popeye and his buddy out to the back. And I guess we started engaging, and I definitely got punched out. I got punched out pretty heavily, but I was fortunate. My nose didn't get my nose broke or nothing. Got the black eyes, the shiner, the fat lips, all that. So I could tell I got a lot of hits. I had been blacked out though. I don't even remember the actual fighting, but I get pounded pretty good, for sure, eh? But like I say, I was fortunate. I didn't lose any teeth, or nose wasn't broken, hair, So other than, that other just stuff that heals up pretty nice usually. So what happened though? So yeah, I got punched, and it's not like I wasn't asked for it. Me and Popeye were getting pretty crazy with each other, talking to each other about things, which was really seemingly, his friend wasn't interested in it. He didn't like this fact that me and Popeye were bonding our brotherhood as Navy veterans. We liked each other. Eh? Like I say, that transcends any of that stuff, man. Yeah, okay, you're a member of that gang. I'm a member of this gang, whatever. We're brothers, man. You make that connection. It's a higher thing at times. Eh? The human condition, the human spirit, the heart chakras were connecting at higher levels, man. Anyways, even in this prison matrix, eh? Absolutely. So basically I got punched out, pretty severely that time. But like I say, I was fortunate. I had no heavy injuries or anything. All healed up eventually. But anyways, the next day, and it's probably true, my buddy sees Popeye uptown there. I think it was on Elgin Street or something in Ottawa. And it's probably true because he said he's seen him anyways, but he's seen Popeye, and Popeye felt bad, eh? Because I got punched out, eh? Popeye felt bad, eh? So I thought that was pretty cool. Popeye, eh? He felt bad. His Navy brother got beat up, eh? But I was kind of not what I was asking for it too, and everything was crazy. But the thing is, hey man, it's not something to play around with, obviously, because not long after that, the similar story happened, and the guy got killed. Eh? He was, shanked, eh? So that could have, fortunately, I survived it, right? And that it was most likely it was thanks to Popeye that he didn't want to that to occur or whatever. And I'm just saying, who knows, eh? But so we're in a dangerous matrix, as we all know it. We're gonna make it a lot safer for everybody now, and a lot more choices. And we are great beings. We're all powerful, every one of us, eh? Not just some of us and all that. Like I say, this haves and have-nots thing, no, have for everybody, man. And so anyways, folks, best wishes as we are into Aquarius now. Planetary liberation is so near. The timelines are shifting and all this. And that's another thing about this meditation on the 21st. It really helped to bring in an optimum Aquarius timeline here, eh? Which is really cool. So, folks, best wishes to all, and we'll see you soon. Speak to you soon. Victory of the light, for light, to light, in light, be light, sacred light. Namas, tous les soldats de lumière. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Salut, mes amis.